everybody. I'm here to talk about the Healy. And you might be listening to this video because you've listened to my podcast episode that I've recently launched, and you might have seen that I'm speaking even further about the Healy. And this video is to kind of accommodate and support that video, because every time I come onto the podcast and I speak about the Healy, I always get emails and messages and questions about, like, wait, what exactly is the Healy? Even though I feel like I describe it well in the podcast, I thought there's something missing. People are not like understanding what I'm talking about. So I said, I'm just going to get on a video. I'm just going to show it. I'm going to show the components to it. I'm going to show how I connect with it, how I receive the frequencies. I think that's the best way for everybody to understand. Like, when I speak about the Healy on the podcast from now on, everyone understands what I'm talking about. I think it's nice. Also, if you've been considering buying one, me showing you how it works and like all that is probably going to help you make your decision. So keep in mind that today, the video, I'm going to do this in chunks. So today's video, I'm only going to do the hardware stuff, like the components to it. And then I'm going to do another video where I go into like the software part, like the programs and what different programs there are and frequencies to run and all that. So this is just to better kind of divide it into information, because I thought it would be too much maybe to do it all together. So we're here to look at the hardware part of it, right? So, okay, let's start with, it's basically the size of the palm of your hand. So you can see that. So it's not that big, right? And so this is the front of it. And this would be just the back of it. And these are codes that you use right here. These are codes that you use that help you connect your phone later on to run the software part, right? So this is the hardware part, the main device right here. This is the one where the from your phone, you have the apps. I'm doing a whole nother episode where I'm going to show you the app and stuff, but from your phone, the app, you choose what you want to run and it goes to the Healy, it uploads to the Healy, and then the Healy runs. For example, if you chose a specific frequency, then the Healy is going to upload to the Healy and the Healy is going to run it on you. So the button to turn it on, if it on, is in the middle. You just press it, and then you'll see. Let me see if you can see better. You can't see the light. I can see it though. Is it there? You see that light right there? Right there. There, I'm finding it hard to get you guys to see. There, that yellow light going off and on, that means it's basically running. If you're connecting your Bluetooth, basically you're connecting to your phone. Right here, this is going to light up blue. So those are like the two main things that you're looking at when you're pressing the middle button and the middle on button. And then you'll have that yellow light flashing. That means that you're like, right now it's running a program. The last program I uploaded to it, it's running it right now. And then if I wanted to change that program and I wanted to upload another one, then I'll just grab my phone, Bluetooth connect it, and then that Bluetooth light right there, it would be right there. That Bluetooth light would start blinking as well. And you know that its Bluetooth is connected. You're also going to know because your phone is going to open up the app and it's going to be connected, and you can choose whatever program you want to run next. So this is the main part of like the Healy, right? And so when you purchase a Healy, whether it's the program that is the basic one, which is the gold cycle, which all the gold programs, you'll get this, right? But if you get like the more advanced one, which is the Healy Resonance, for example, you're still going to get this, but what you are getting is more packages or more software, more frequencies, and more things that you can freely do with it. For example, the Healy Resonance, and I'm going to talk about this all in the episode where I talk about the application in itself, the software in itself. But when you do the Healy, when you go with the Healy Resonance, you're going to be able to like hold it in your hand. It's going to read your frequency. It's the quantum kind of like aspect of it is going to read your frequency, see what you need, which is what I talk about all the time on the podcast, how it's so accurate with me. In the all the years that I've had it, it's always spot on with what I need. And I've even tested it. I put it to the test. We're going, let's see if it really knows what I need. And it's always spot on. It's insane. But of course, it's all frequency. So why am I surprised? Okay, so this is how we already know that we would put the software onto it. It would upload the software. Let's say that I'm running the Pure program. And so I just pick the Pure program on my phone. I'm Bluetooth connected. I pick the Pure program on my phone. That's part of the gold cycle. And then it goes to here, it uploads, it's then running. But how do I get the frequency? How do I receive the frequency? So there's something new that just came out that's called the Healy coil. And when I saw this come out, I'm like, yes, yes. So this is what the Healy coil looks like. And it's just like a plug-in. So you have here, you can see you have this thing here is a typical like thing to charge. So you're charging your Healy through that right there, which I'll show you the plug in a second. And then you have these two here, which that's where this would plug in. We'll be able to plug something else in. We'll show you, but you basically plug that in like this. And so now it's on my Healy in the back part. Remember the back part before we were looking at the codes and stuff? Okay, now it's covered with the Healy coil. So now what is it doing? It's on my person. It's in my pocket. I personally love putting it in my bra, but that's a little weird maybe. But I love putting it in my bra because then I'll go bike riding or something and I don't have to worry about it falling out. But you put it in your pocket, but you have to have it on your person, right? So right now, since I'm holding it and the program, we know the program is running. Let's see if I can get you to see light again. There you go. You know the program is running. Right now I'm receiving the frequency because the coil is on it. The frequency is coming out. It's on my person because I'm holding it. And so I'm receiving the frequency. So that's one of the ways of receiving the frequency. I'm going to take this off now, the coil. So the coil's off now. And I'm going to show you another way to receive the frequency. So we have these right here. I'm going to show you that. You are plugging that into the two holes right there. So like this and like that. And so you see it's plugged in there. And this are two cables that lead to, are they called electrodes? Electrodes? I don't know what this is called, but I'll show you because I should know the name of this, but I don't. So this, now the frequency is coming out of the Healy through this. And I put on, for example, armbands. These, mind you, they come in the package really nice, but I've been using this a lot for 3 years. And to the point where it was so long that I even I'm a brute and I just cut it because it was too long for my really small wrists. And then I run it on my daughter too. So that her wrists are really small and I was just finding them a little annoying. So I just cut them, whatever. But you would put that on you, right? And you have it you have two, one for both sides, right? So I would put it on here too. And then you just pop this on. And now I'm receiving the frequency and you want to put both on. You never want to put one on because one side is positive and one side is negative. So you never want to just put one on. You're going to put both on. I'm just putting only one on because I'm showing you guys. And this is why I'm saying that I was so excited when the Healy coil came out, because I was wearing these and sometimes I'd be like, oh, I'm going to wash the dishes. And just being with the dishes and the cables and stuff. And I kept snapping them off and I was afraid I was going to break the Healy. And so I ended up, when I found out the Healy coil came out, I'm like, oh my God, yes, thank goodness. Okay, so this is one. Now, when you go to the program on your phone, it's going to tell you, run it with the wristbands, for example, or run it with, and these other components to it. So let's say that I'm having a lot of severe pain. Let's say, for example, typical, like a back pain, right? You have this. Now, these you get 4 of them. 4 of them come with the package when you buy the Healy. And you're basically just peeling it off and it's sticky. So it sticks. In the case of my back, I would be putting it on my back where I have the localized pain, right? And then this would come. So imagine this is my back. And then this would come and I just pop it on one side. Maybe they're on the two sides of where the pain is, for example, and you pop them both on. Remember, again, you're not using one. You have to connect both of them, right? So this is another way to receive it. Again, the app will tell you which way to use it. The app will say, use a wristband or use a localized, whatever they call this, use these, right? And so, for example, I have the coil. So when I have a typical wristband program, I'm just using the coil. But if I have a localized pain, I'm using this because you want it to go. If it's telling you to put this on you, it's because it's localizing the frequency and sending it there. And that's what you want. You don't want to miss that. So this is another way to receive the frequency, but then we have another way to receive the frequency. And again, the app's going to tell you. Now, this is typical for example, migraines and stuff like that. So this is, you would take off the original ones that I just put on, right? You take these off and you're going to connect this. So this is for your ear and this comes together and it has those two thingies again. So I connect them. I connect them both, again, positive and negative. You have to use both. Remember, so you can see here that has, let me see if I can, there, positive and negative. So you want to use both. It doesn't matter which side, again, with the wristbands either. So you have a little felt thing. You can see the white felt thingies. So this is going to go on your earlobe. Now, I usually take off my earring, obviously, because my earrings, I have 3 holes for earrings and they're just annoying, but it would go on the bottom. I would take my earring off and I'd put it on here, right? On both sides. And then you're receiving the frequency through here. So this is a typical program that would ask you to put these on, their earbuds on. I'm calling it earbuds. I don't know what it's called, but I forgot what it's called. But putting the ear ones on, a typical program would be a migraine, for example. I personally have found that when I use this and I have like a headache issue, if I put it on, because you can also, via your phone, you can say the intensity you want to receive. So you can receive like a 20% intensity or 100% intensity. And I once remember putting on, I had it at 100 and I popped this on, and the beginning was okay, but there's moments where like the frequency changes. It goes through the program for you. So there's moments where the program is like really, I don't know, spiking in its activity and really high, and it's sending you a lot of things that you need. But at 100%, I started feeling so dizzy, and I had to lower it down to like, I think it was 30% or something. So, but everybody's different. They say that, some people can like to really feel the frequency and to be really strong. And some people just want to leave it at 20, 25 and not feel it too much, just receive it. So that's individual. It's not like it's going to do a better job or a worse job. It's still going to do its job. It's just dependent on the person's, I guess, how they're feeling and how they want to feel it. So that would be, for example, headache in here. Now they send you a bunch of extra ones, I guess, in case this gets dirty and things like that. So yeah, so you have that. And then just the only thing I'm missing to show you here when it comes to hardware is the charger. Now, I don't know if this is the original charger, because I'm one of those people that has a drawer full of chargers for every electronic device I've ever owned. I never throw chargers away. So it's like this big, like, sort of junk drawer. And every time I need to charge something, I need to find what fits inside what I'm about to charge. So mind you, I found this one that fits that I've been using, but I don't know if it's the original. But so the hole that we originally had looked at, that one right there, that's where the charger is going to go. And so you just pop it in like this. And then it's a USB thingy, and you just put it into a plug, right? And then you can charge it on your computer, or I have those USB plugs where the USB goes into a plug thingy and you just put in the outlet plug. So whichever one works is fine for you. Some of the issues I had when I first bought the Healy, and of course, when you buy the Healy, you're buying it like there's a kind of like an issue, like when you buy it, you're under somebody. So for example, someone suggested it to you and sent you a link and you're buying it, right? So then you're linked to that person. So if you need any assistance, that's the person you would go to, be like, oh, by the way, can you help me figure this out? So I have my person that's above me, sort of say, that helped me figure out all the stuff. I guess you call it a sponsor, right? So I remember contacting my sponsor and saying, how do you reset this thing? Because I was finding that one day it got like stuck or something and I couldn't figure it out. And I was really new to it. So the first thing I had to call him about was I couldn't get it to turn on. Stupid ass question, but I couldn't get it to turn on. And it's because you had to press a little hard on the button. I'm just used to being like, oh, no, you had to press a little hard on the button. So that was my first issue. They've made new Heelys, so maybe it doesn't feel the same anymore. Maybe it's changed. So maybe the button's not so, maybe it's lighter. I don't know. So I'm just going off of mine, which was one of the first batches. So maybe the one that you get might have a lighter button, just to double check that. But the other thing was when it got stuck one day, which is typical with hardware, always at some point needs to be resetted, like your phone or your computer, you need to shut it off and turn it back on. I didn't know what to do. And then he ended up explaining to me, you had to hold it down. I think it was like about 30 seconds. So I do that. And you see the light here. Okay, you can see the light there. I'm going to hold it down. And now you don't see a light on. I'm holding it down still. I'm holding it down. And then you're going to see it blink there. So you're holding it down until you see the light change, right? Again, I don't know if the newer models changed in the form of you like resetting it or not. Let me see if I can. I'm holding it down. I'm trying to figure out how long. So now the light's fixed. Was that 30 seconds? That might be 30. I think it's 30 seconds. I was double checking to see how long it takes me. That's about 30 seconds. Okay. But that's the gist of it. I hope this explains to you guys the Healy a little bit more. Now, again, this is just one video I'm making where I'm just showing you the hardware and the components part of it. And I'm going to do another video where I talk about, like, I'm going to see if I can show you guys the application on my phone, connecting to it, and like the programs I have the Healy Resonance. So I'm able to hold it and go to the Healy Resonance app. There's 2 apps in that case. I'm going through it in the other video. I'm not going to bombard you too much now. And then I get it to read my frequency, and it tells me, you know, what I need to run the most right now, depending on what's going on with me or where I'm at. But I hope this video is all about supporting those that are listening kind of like to the podcast and trying to figure out, what is Lucia talking about and how does she even use it? Because it seems like it's very confusing. And I'm like, obviously my words alone are not answering the questions. So here I am physically showing you guys one of my favorite ever devices. And